Bang, bang. We back right about now. We back. It's Wednesday night, almost Thursday. And you know how it is. We come in late, but we come in hot. And I'm not going to waste any time tonight. That fucking intro always gets me so hype. I can't hide the enthusiasm it brings me, and I can't hide our homie Skywalker the Jedi. How you doing tonight, player?
How you doing, sir? I'm doing fantastic. Chilling, having a great night. Excited to be pulling up with the cool table once again.
Yeah, dude. It's always a good night when we can get the homies together and talk our shit, whatever it may be about. And it's always good to have Necron on a panel, our resident panelist. How we doing, Necron?
All right. Doing all right, dude.
No,
it's all right. It's good. It's good.
No home failures this week. No problems with any appliances or anything like that to speak of.
Nah, just marriage failures, but we'll get past that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. No nerd struggles to speak of tonight. Sickness was good, homie. Was good, Marcus. Socks, the Batman, Mama Bear, and Bat Dance Thoughts. Yo, nice logo, man. Nice logo. KR, I see you, homie. And the Nightwing, I also see you, homie. Super Bro, obviously love when you come through here. And anybody, if I missed you, I apologize. I think I hit everybody, and I appreciate everyone for being here tonight. It's gonna be a little off the beaten path as far as what we're used to.
What's up, chat? How everybody doing?
We got a little bit heavier topics, some real shit to talk about tonight. There's some crazy shit went on the past week, I guess, in like a 4-day span, bro. Honestly, that's all it took. This new year came, and I was like, yeah, we were all like, Happy New Year. Sunday came and went, New Year's Day. If anybody was watching our channel, as in Still Nation Sports Network. We had the Good Countdown, and then we had Cafe Zone. Sky showed up on Cafe Zone. We had a fucking grand old time, man. We enjoyed ourselves. The Bucks won. I still got some clips to come out from that because I was freaking out. Sky and Sue were talking about Deshaun Watson, I believe, and the Browns. And in the middle of that, I was watching the Bucks game, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I took my headset off. I freaked out.
That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, if you're not watching us on Sundays, you definitely got to join in on the football fun. And we got the bots, the movie bots coming in too. What's good, Megan? What's good, Cocaine Bear? I see you. Of course, Megan's here, pissed. Yo, act like you're not the same person, bro. But all right. Super Bro Corey says Evans helped me win fantasy championship back to back. Let's go, Super Bro. That's what
nice.
Super
nice.
Bro was watching Cafe Zone too. So when any big play would happen, he was cheering right along with me. But Corey,
Super Bro got to get in that fantasy league next year.
Next year, that means I guess we're gonna be expecting a lot from you because we're gonna have the Good Countdown Fantasy League, and we're gonna be going over the fantasy scores every week and the standings of what the fantasies are, everything. Who's the fantasy leaders, and we're also gonna have sports betting on the show next season. We're going big next year, man. We're gonna talk it all.
Damn.
Sports betting, and we're gonna give our predictions on the show. So yeah, if no one's tuned in yet, you're gonna have seen this is the first draft of the Good Countdown you see every weekend so far. We're gonna ramp it up a little bit for the playoffs, and then we got XFL, but we're really coming with the shits next year for NFL season 2. And this is basically tonight we're gonna be talking about all NFL. So sorry if you came here expecting some comic book talk. We ain't talking comic books tonight, because this is the reality of where we're at right now and what I want to talk about. So I appreciate everyone coming through, and I usually ask the boys, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I woke up today not even wanting to do a stream. Honestly, I was like, you know what, I don't feel like streaming tonight, and I don't want to stream. But throughout my workday today, and what up, TJ? I see you, by the way. Through the workday today, I was like, you know what, I have to stream, because obviously there's a reason why I don't want to stream, and I should talk about that, and we should talk about it with the homies. So what better way than just do it right here on Freezing Cold Takes, talk about football shit, right? So on Monday night, after a good Sunday, and that we hyped it up on the Good Countdown and on Cafe Zone, I was gonna do a watch along for the Bills Bengals game on Monday night, and I was like, oh, it'll probably be after halftime because I get out of work late, and when the game starts, I'm just gonna be eating dinner, yada yada yada, normal Monday shit that I think is gonna go on. And so that time of night comes around, and I'm like, oh, I got to get ready for like the good hours special. I got to get ready for the watch along. I got to start getting set up. Let me check what the score is. And I put my phone to check the game on, and they're like in the studio, and it was like it was like way before halftime. It should have been like the second quarter. And I'll bring our homie Leon showed up. What's good, Leon? What's good, Leon?
What's good, gentlemen?
What's good?
Up, Leon?
How you feeling tonight, Playboy? I'm glad you showed up, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. I heard a little something of what you guys were saying. And yeah, I feel you, man. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but it's a good time to talk about it. Talk about why you don't want to do it.
Right.
I respect that.
Just want to be real with the people, you know what I mean? I
Absolutely.
I didn't want to do a fake show tonight. So I had to like really tell people how I was feeling. So anyways, thanks for showing up, Leon. Thanks for being here. Obviously, thanks boys for being here.
Absolutely.
So that I pull my phone up and I'm watching the broadcast. I'm like, why are they in studio right now? Is there like a game postponement? Like, what the fuck is going on? And first thing I think of is, well, it was in Cincinnati. Like, I don't know, maybe the broadcast went out, maybe they lost power. I don't know. So I Google it, and it's like, and I figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, Bills player took an impact to the chest, and he collapsed on the field, went into cardiac arrest, had to get CPR, dude. Crazy. So I didn't tweet anything out, but I was like, well, I guess, like, in my dumb mind, the first thing that came to my mind was like, well, I guess I'm not streaming, but like obviously that didn't fucking matter at that moment in time. All I was trying to figure out was he still alive? What was going on? But it was still in the moment that it was still like he was still on the field. Thankfully, right now, Damar Hamlin, he is in the hospital. He's still alive currently, but I wanted to say that I was super shook by that. It's football shit, bro. You know what I mean? But when you're faced with your immortality like that, it's crazy to think. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Like, that dude's 24 years old. And obviously that's never something you never want to see. But something that happened during that game was people coming together and really understanding what matters, right? It ain't football at the end of the day. It's if you're alive or not. So they postponed the game completely. There's no talk whether or not they're going to play that game. But that's why I didn't want to stream tonight, because it didn't seem like it mattered. I know there's been news that's come out in the DC world, and most recently, Beta's coming back out of the cracks to come at Sill, which is, just mosquito on the windshield at this point, right? Like, none of that shit mattered, and I didn't want to talk about any of that because of what's going on in Cincinnati right now. He's still in the hospital in Cincinnati. So I was like, you know what? Let's just talk about him. Let's send our prayers his way and our positivity. And let's remember, at the end of the day, hug our loved ones, all that. And I don't know if you guys want to say anything about him or how that made you feel watching it. I don't know if you guys saw the replay at all. But Skywalker, if you wanted to go ahead and tell me how that made you feel or how you're feeling still after that.
Yeah, yo. Whenever you can have something happen that truly brings like a feeling of like not only just shock and sadness to so many people in such a moment, you have to kind of take that and place that at the forefront and focus on making sure that those people that were mostly impacted, right? So his family, his loved ones,
Right.
everybody that was in the stadium, his teammates,
Yep.
the people that had to witness the CPR being done. I mean, that's such a tough situation to have to deal with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine that. I played football. I've been in situations where people have been carted off of the field. I've seen people, where they kind of, where from far back you might not be able to tell if they could move much or not, right? But then, they'll get carted off and you see them, give like a wave, or
Right.
you see people be on the ground for a while and then they can, after a while, get up and walk off the field. You see those type of things happen. And even though those moments can be very terrible, for some reason, we're just kind of programmed to just, kind of go back to playing football, right? But a situation like this, I cannot imagine being asked to go back out there, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
After having to wonder whether or not, my teammate was still breathing, right? That is such a tough situation to deal with. It looked like at at like best like a freak accident, right? You know, he kind of took a shoulder to the chest, and not only that, he was kind of driven into the ground a little bit too, but he just kind of popped up. And then right after he started moving around, you can see that there was clearly something wrong. And it's a tough situation. My prayers are with him and his family. I hope that he makes a full recovery. And that if he wants to play football again, that he will be able to. But if he chooses not to or can't, I completely understand. Because that to have to deal with something like that at such a young age. He's 24, right? That
Yep.
is, I can't imagine being that age and having to go through something like that. So, my prayers are with him and his family, and his teammates, everybody that was in that stadium, everybody that was at home, sending their prayers and energy to that young man. Thank you all. And I'm sure that his family thanks you and is grateful for it as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, and I should have mentioned when we started talking about this, but one of the great things about football is the fraternity. As far as not just players, but fans, the family of football is massive, right? Global at this point. As you can see, I covered the game earlier this year in Germany, and they had games in London. It's wild how big the football family stretches and how tight knit it is. People you've never known, you're homies with them. When you see the same logo on their shirt or on their hat, you're like, yo, you've been going through what I've been going through, or whatever it is. So that when this happens to a player like that, one thing that's great in tragedy is how the community comes together. Not only are we coming together to talk about it right now, but Damar Hamlin does a toy drive every year, and he's been trying to get more and more money for it every year. Ever since I believe he was in college, he's been doing the same toy drive. People have donated to it over the last couple of days. Like overnight, it jumped up $6.6 million, which is crazy. So I have that link at the top of the description of this video. If anyone feels so inclined to donate as a form of positivity, to try and send their love or their well wishes any way they want to, I highly encourage you to do that. That's why I put it at the very top. You don't have to scroll down. It's right there at the beginning. So you can get it there. But yeah, it's terrible to see. And obviously we're kind of just like waiting, hoping for the best. I mean, I guess heard today that the doctors have seen some positive signs, but we're not really knowing exactly what those positive signs are. Or the family said, I guess, released a statement through the Buffalo Bills and said that as well. So just kind of waiting it out. But Necron, did you want to go ahead and let us know what you felt when you saw it and what you're feeling now? Now we've had a couple of days to kind of be away from it.
Yeah, sure. I'll say a couple of things. I was like watching the game and Monday Night Raw, right? Now, so I was just clicking back and forth. So yeah, when I clicked back, I thought, damn, is it halftime? Because I noticed they were in studio, but I was doing other shit too. I was like on the phone, but then I looked up and I said, what's going on? And I actually paid attention to know what was going on because I didn't see it happen live. I came out onto the game after
Yeah,
it
me
had
too.
happened, and I was like, oh my God. And it's one of those shocking things that you don't expect that in a football game. You expect maybe someone's going to get hurt,
Right.
but you're not expecting to see a life and death situation on the field. I know it's happened and things can happen. You just don't really expect it. So
Right.
it's quite shocking to see it happen in real time. going on at the moment, and they're still there, trying to. I mean, thank God they had a good staff around to get this guy's heart going
Right.
again.
Mhm.
They were smart enough to start, because I heard it was both team doctors were working on him. I don't know how true that is, but I heard,
Somebody, because he was getting CPR, and he was also had an air aspirator device or something like that. It's called the
mm,
AED, but it's like, I believe it's one of those pump things that they put over your mouth, and you
mm,
have to do it in concession with the
to,
CPR or
to
whatever.
help the oxygen flow and
Yeah,
all that.
exactly. So like they had to work in tandem to stabilize him, or to get his heart beat back.
Yeah,
'Cause
and that also keeps the oxygen moving in and the blood,
yeah,
and that's
yep,
all. Hopefully, God, I pray this kid comes out of this
me too,
the
me
way he
too.
went, the way he was before he went into it. Because
Exactly.
24 years old to be in such a situation, and
Yeah, it's terrible, man. He just
it's terrible, and I know it's everyone on his team's going to be affected by it. His family, of
Cincinnati too.
course.
Yeah.
It's just But one of the things out of the situation, besides people who are trying to make it political, and I ain't going to get into that, but
Mhm.
I like how the league was forced to respond to it the right way,
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
and they respected
Right.
what the players, and the coaches wanted, and
Mhm.
and said, no, we're not doing this tonight.
Right.
And it would have been it's nice to see not everything boils down to money is riding on this. We can't fuck it up.
Right. The
And they
corporate
did.
bullshit.
Yeah. They gave these people what they needed,
Mhm.
space
Right.
and the time to deal with this, and let this young man, give him a chance to recover. You
Mhm.
know, give him a chance. We'll play football. It's going to happen. Just
Not now.
let everybody have their peers and their time to fucking deal with it, and give him at least some time.
Mhm.
Let everybody focus on him, because that's what matters. And
Absolutely.
that's how I
Absolutely.
feel
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you, man.
pretty. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, very well said, Necron. I'm pretty sure that a bunch of the people there were super emotional.
Shook.
Can you imagine?
Like had to be.
Yeah,
They
like Mama
had to be. Had to be.
Mama Bear just said it.
Like and um
There's no way.
there's no way that they could have gotten back up to be able to go and play a football game.
No, not
At
at
the
all.
professional level, there's no way. At any
There's no
level,
way.
but imagine at the
There's no
NFL,
way.
you
Just on a
can't. Your
human
mind
level. Yeah.
is not ready to deal with that at that moment.
No, it doesn't matter at that point. And yeah, to say about that, I mean, Stefan Diggs, right, is the wide receiver on the opposite side of the football. But when they, I guess, had gone into the locker rooms at one point, and there was that like rogue call that they were going to return to the field in 5 minutes or whatever. And I can explain that in a little bit. But when that happened, I guess the officials went into the locker room to like speak to the teams, and Stefan Diggs was in a towel. Like he was ready. He's changed, showered, was on his way to the hospital. Like he was not going to go play this game. He even doesn't matter what they said. Like I don't even if they said to go play, they wouldn't have had a whole team to be on the field. Like they're not playing after that. And as far as that 5 minute things go, I don't know if anyone heard that. It may have been announced on the broadcast that they were going to return to play in 5 minutes or something like that. And then they asked the NFL player operations or whatever. I think the one of the officials, and he came out and said that that's erroneous, and can't believe someone ever said that. So then they got people on a witch hunt for who said the 5 minutes thing. Someone needs to be fired. Blah blah blah. It's standard procedure if there's a postponement of the game that after halftime would have like started, and there's no weather delays, and the delays are done to start again in 5 minutes. It's like a standard procedure thing that always happens. And so that time hit, and it just got announced before the NFL like could stop it. if that makes sense. So it's stupid, yes, but that happened because lower level people were just probably following a script of what they had to do, and they're like, "Oh shit, we got to announce this now."
The rules,
Rather than
procedures,
yeah,
and
exactly, because of dumb procedures. But I just wanted to say that. But yeah, the rest were following the rules. That's what it was. But yeah, before we go any further, Leon, would you like to let us know? I don't know if you saw anything, if you saw the hit on Twitter like I did, because after the broadcast, I was like, well, my stupid ass, I have to see it now. Everyone else has seen it. I want to see it, and I know I wish I never did, like the aftermath of it. But did you see it, and how are you feeling about all this, my friend?
Yeah, I saw it. It was actually sent to me from a couple of people. Like they sent them to me, like texted to me, and one person was asking me like, "What happened?" basically, and the clip that I saw was the slow motion clip from like the perfect angles to see everything that happened. And as Skywalker said, that impact to the chest, clearly had to be the reason why, and it looked incredibly bad.
Mm-hmm.
oh really?
Especially in hindsight. Oh yeah, it's
I
it's
have
almost
not
like
seen it.
it's almost like spearing, like it's almost like
Direct.
a man, like taking a man at full speed and spearing them into another person, right?
Yeah,
His right shoulder thrusted directly into the area where the heart is, and I was like, "Good God!"
he
So I'm
kind of
like, "That's
just went
got to
like
be it."
this. It was weird
Can
the way
I?
he took that hit.
Go for it, bro.
Because he's a defensive back, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, right? Typically speaking, defensive backs don't wear like the bigger sets of shoulder pads. You know what I'm saying? Theirs
I
are
was gonna
usually
ask you
lighter.
guys that too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I've been hit in the chest, yo. I've had and you know that shit hurts, yo, and I can totally see um because these guys are massive, yo. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think people really understand how big some of these NFL players are, yo. I
And
used to go to
strong.
I used to go to USC's football practices, man, and I used to just be standing next to their linemen. And these guys are like 6'6", 6'7", 300 plus pound guys, yo. And in short distances, they're moving at incredible speeds. And then you have, you know, this time that's even passed since then where everybody's just getting bigger, stronger, and faster,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you have these situations where I agree with Leon. I think he like it literally just looked like the work he got hit square right where his heart was.
Yeah,
And that's a huge guy. And then, you also have the impact that he had on the ground too. I'm pretty sure that didn't help. It's just a terrible situation.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a normal punch in a sensitive area like that, right? A normal punch will probably stagger you, you
Mhm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
at the very least. You take a person who is what, like Sky described, 6'7", 6'5", nearly 300 pounds coming at you at full speed. And, the impact is like a car wreck. Plus there's no padding or the usual armored padding, etc. It's just a recipe for disaster. So, thank God that he is, um, still with us. And I hope to God he's in good health. I appreciate the response from the public. The public was, you know, in shock and this feeling of mourning, right? Where you're like, oh my God, I hope this man is okay. And then the response from the NFL to postpone the game, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Um, just everybody's response kind of made me, it was saddening, incredibly saddening, but it also made me go, wow, there's still good people out here in the world.
Yeah.
Because those donations that you mentioned, I heard about that because, I'm big into wrestling at times. So, Chris Jericho donated twice. He donated once, misspelling his name, and then he donated again to spell. He spelled his name right the second time. Like
That's
he don't.
funny.
Right, it's such a cool gesture.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh,
very
I
cool.
spelled my name wrong. Oop, here's another one.
Yep. Let
So
me fix that for you.
Yeah, that's how I found out he even had the foundation. I was like, oh wow, this is cool. He has a charity, etc. And that's the one positive of this entire situation. If there's a positive, is that, well, two, he is still with us.
Yes.
Thank God. And also the other one is the response from humanity, the people.
Mhm.
Everybody is pouring in love and prayers and just goodwill towards this young man. So
Mhm.
I pray to God he recovers fully.
Yeah, yeah, well said, man. Absolutely well said. And that's kind of what I'm taking solace in too, is that we can still come together, man, no matter what. It sucks over the circumstances, but uh, sometimes it takes these type of things to remind us all like what really matters, and all the little petty bullshit that goes on, arguments don't really mean anything. A lot of the times the talks that we have are based upon things that are uh they're out of our control. And one thing that we can control though is putting that stuff to the side and talking about the stuff that really matters when it matters most. Like this, I just couldn't couldn't dare speak about shits and giggles when there was something so serious that happened. And it I know we're saying that it kind of shook all of us just to watch, but like Sky was saying, imagine being a player right now, and imagine thinking right now you have the Sunday comes, dude, just like the first of the month, Sunday always comes. uh and you got a game to play, you got a job to do. Like, yeah, this is a kid's game, right? uh but this is a job, and not only is it a job for them, but the NFL also helps millions of other people have jobs as well. So if the NFL doesn't play, a lot of people don't get paid. um
Good point.
and
Yeah.
people at the stadiums, people for the TVs, people who are writers, people who are photographers, people who are camera people, security guys, medical staff, all of that. um there's millions of people who need a paycheck come Sunday, so that is the majority of the reason why these games are always played. The only other time in NFL history recently where they postponed an entire game, a weekend of games, was 9/11. And like I don't know if this is something that rocks everyone so much that they postpone it and unfortunately it's just because it's this late in the season, right? Everyone's had their bye week, playoffs are coming, and the only free week that's coming up in the near future is Pro Bowl week, which is the week before the Super Bowl. And so they're thinking about canceling that game, um, and moving everything back, because here's the thing we talked about. Yeah, the Cincinnati and the Bills game is postponed right now. I think they should just end it with each team taking a tie, and the rest of the playoff season, like proceedings, unfortunately just has to go through whatever tiebreakers it has to go through. Um, and they play their final game this week. Like, that's the unfortunate part about that game, is that there are two top seeds in the AFC, and like it's a football game, right? The football is gonna happen after this, and they can't postpone the entire season. Um, so that's why the next subject that we're about to talk about is Skip Bayless's tweet.
Can I say something really quick?
Go ahead.
To
Please
as
do.
you were talking, you were kind of inspiring something. Because a lot of what you're saying is about like priorities and what we tend to prioritize in our lives. And I think in our entertainment sphere and our geekdom, we've had a recent event, a recent tragedy. We'll touch on it, at some point.
We will.
But also this stuff going on like outside of our our geek sphere, right? Where we're seeing, a young man play the great sport of football, and a tragic situation happens with him. It just puts everything in perspective. I think 2023 is really showing us, like, get it together, prioritize family, friends, loved ones, success. At least for me. And I'm sure, you gentlemen share my sentiments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just all in all, man, I think like 2023 is about to be like a real filtered experience for me, personally. That's what I'm getting from that. You know what I mean?
Me too.
Cut out a lot of the BS.
Yeah.
Continue to focus sharply on a lot of successes. I keep saying the word success because I'm speaking this into existence. Success is going to happen for each and every one of us. You know what I'm saying?
I truly believe that too, man.
Myself, you, Sky, Necron, Sil Abdul, Mikey Sutton, the rest of Sil Nation, our family, friends, loved ones. We're gonna get it. 2023, we're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, dude.
We're gonna, yeah, absolutely. And I truly believe that. And that's why I wanted to talk about this now. So that's why that's the perspective that I talked myself into today.
And that's why Leon's on the cool table.
We're here to live. We're here to win. And we got to do it.
And always to
homies,
roast.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because life is short, but in this short life, we also have to remember to take care of ourselves. So
correct.
Just remember that, life is short, so we have to live life to the fullest, but also don't burn out brightly because we all want to see you shine. And damn, I just fucking was that bars right there? Shit.
Damn. I think so, dude.
Damn,
hey, Corey over here is saying, speak it into existence. Corey, I'm already successful. They just about to join me. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to tell the boys.
You sound like Necron. When I asked Necron to get his New Year's resolutions, he's like, "How can I make greatness better?"
Yeah.
How can
I said success is plural. You know what I'm saying? As in addition to.
I just want to be successful.
And that was that whole list that they had, bro. We're close.
that was a cold song, bro, for real.
Yeah, dude.
It really is.
Love that song, bro.
Right, we need to snippet that little list.
We're gonna. Yeah. If anything else, man, that's always the thing that I love about this group is, man, we'll find the silver lining and we'll make ourselves laugh and bring the positivity, no matter fucking what, man.
Right.
With that being said, though, Leon, we just gotta. I wanted to just talk about these last couple of things, and we'll send it in a good note, and just kind of cap this stream off so we can have it as a little time capsule for us to send our positivity towards Damar Hamlin. We're all thinking about you, bro. We definitely want you to pull through, and we want to see you healthy no matter what. Don't care if you come back and play football again, but I'd love to see 3 out there in the field as well at the same time making plays. Yeah, what's up, Mo?
Real quick too, because speaking about the other players, when you're a football player, you have such a feeling of like invincibility, right? And you're out there, you got your armor on, you're literally out there going to war, right? So you don't really think that something like this is going to happen, which is why that would have been so much tougher for them to then turn around and try to go back out there after experiencing that range of emotions like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that veil of invincibility has been broken at that point.
Right. Yeah. You literally, you're looking at your own mortality there right on the field in front of you. Like, yo, that could have been me. That could have been me like 2 seconds, like
your mental toughness is probably, like Sky is saying, it's
shattered.
out the window now.
Yeah. And you probably got people that love him that's thinking, man, I would rather it be me than him.
Oh yeah,
Exactly. Mad people said that
Right?
actually. A lot of Bills
Yeah.
said that. And you got to be feeling. So the guy that made the was making the play and was on offense. His name is T Higgins, and he's a massive tight end. That's why this impact was so big on Damar Hamlin, who's the defensive back who's usually going up against wide receivers who are super like usually lean, skinnier players, fast as F. And they typically cornerbacks don't guard a tight end because a tight end is a surrogate lineman usually who can catch. So that's the caliber of player that he made the tackle on and he made the play, dude. It was just such a brute force hit that unfortunately gave him cardiac arrest because of would you say commodio cordotis is what it's called? Did I say that right? Carditis. There's a certain thing when it happens, you get an impact in a certain point in your rhythm of your heart, and that just stops it. It has to be at a perfect moment too. And it happens in baseball when if you get a hit in the chest with a baseball, it just like impacts it. So in the most emphasis about that is it doesn't break any ribs or anything. It's just boom, and it just
it throws it out of rhythm.
touching
Yeah.
your heart, right? But it's at a perfect point too. It has to be a certain
Oh,
point in the
yeah,
cycle
man.
in order for that to happen. One in a million type chance. So we hope that the chances of him coming back to full health are way more than 1 in a million. And we're thinking about him greatly, man. I have to also give a huge shout out to me being a broadcaster. Shout out to the broadcasters who were on that night. They get a lot of hate, a lot for no reason, in my opinion. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They had a lot of professionalism, trying to talk about what they were seeing, and be real about it, and not like mince any words. They didn't really follow a script, or any company standpoints. They were just telling you how they felt, what they were seeing on the field, and they were just reporting facts and being super professional about it. So I got to commend them and everybody at that crew at ESPN who had to cover that game, and talk about it live. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine having to do a show through all that, because that's the one thing about also being on television and being the one football national broadcast that probably has the most eyes on it, is that you're reporting to the people. You're not just reporting for yourself at that point. Like, you're letting people know what's going on at that moment in time, right then and there. You're giving them the most updated news. So you have a job to do, and they continue to do it, even though they saw something that they've never seen either. And Troy Aikman himself, being a player, was probably just as rocked as the rest of us, if not more. Probably had met Damar Hamlin before and talked to him like earlier that week, because they're doing a Monday Night Football game. Like, you never really know. So I definitely commend them for staying professional and doing their job for the rest of us, who are just watching along and trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, because they definitely don't get to go away from the camera when that happens.
No.
They got a time slot to fill. I mean,
you know how that
doesn't
works.
go off air. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
how that goes, man. You're gonna have to stay there, and your whole script is destroyed.
Yeah, just throw that out the window, right?
Yep.
And do we have any script on player died on the field? Can we get that out?
No, they don't.
Yeah, well, no, dude, you don't have that. No way. So he suddenly had a cardiac arrest. He's still alive. He's still fighting. They're showing positivity. So you go to sleep tonight, just say, yo, Damar Hamlin, keep fighting. And that's all we really need to keep putting out in the universe. And I think that spirit's going to get to him, and I think he's going to definitely feel everybody pulling for him. And I can't wait for him to make a full recovery, to see all of that, positivity and even Super Bro saw this comment, got me. He said, I hate Joe Buck, but he did good that night. Yeah, exactly.
Super Bro.
Thank you, bro. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and talking about this with us. I know it's a tougher subject, but just need to talk about it, man. We're adults here, so we got to talk about adult shit, not just keep it goofy, laughy, fart shit all the time. No, we have to actually talk about real stuff.
Austin is our NFL guy.
Yeah, and I'm here, and
I mean,
I'm the NFL guy, and
this is what he loves, and I'm glad to see people sticking around.
Yeah,
We're not going to talk
absolutely.
about goofy guys running around in costumes tonight in imaginary worlds and getting upset. We're gonna
this is real shit,
support
man.
our boy Austin and what his heart wants to talk about.
I appreciate you guys coming in. Like I said, I usually ask the boys what we want to talk about, but tonight I was like, this is what we're talking about, and we're gonna be professional business like about it. So yeah, thank you, Necron. I appreciate you, man.
Man.
I appreciate you boys for showing up. I told these guys before the show started.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't know if anybody was gonna show up. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I was like, well, sorry. Yeah, like it's just one of those shows. But
Have I missed one of these?
Nah, you haven't. You right.
The fuck? Like, shut up.
I know.
I'm gonna be here, bro.
I know. I appreciate
Scott
you,
said,
boys.
"Oh, Miss Wendy."
He said, shut up, dog. But the one thing that
spoiler alert, I was the one that told him to shut the fuck up.
You just did again.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
Yeah,
to be honest.
They knew. But anyways,
I love Austin.
Yeah, I love you too, homie. Fucking A. So Skip Bayless often tweets things that are completely asinine. Now I need to
I'll go last on this one, Austin. Thanks.
Okay. I need to read this because I was talking to Necron about it in our DMs, and I was like, yeah, classic old white shouldn't be tweeting, basically is what I said. But I do want to say, and I'm not sticking. So let me caveat this, right? I'm not sticking up for anything that Skip Bayless said. This is what I have to say, right? When you read a text, a lot of times, you often don't see where someone's nuance or emphasis is when they're saying it, right? A lot of times, you've had it happen to your own personal conversations where maybe you were being sarcastic and someone took it a different way and they got offended. And this is what happened live in 4K to Skip Bayless. And now let me read you where the emphasis was in this tweet and where everyone took it the wrong way. And this is what I mean. Shouldn't have tweeted at all, but this is where it got taken out of context. So Skip Bayless tweeted Monday night, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which is a fact, okay? Irrelevant at the time. And that's what he says, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. And he was just wondering how we're going to postpone it, meaning why not cancel it? Like, why not? Like, what are you doing? He's just questioning the NFL's decisions at the time. Poor wording, yes, but he ended it with, it all seems so irrelevant now. And he even started his show Tuesday morning saying that he was sorry if people like misunderstood that. And that's what it was, a misunderstanding, because he's a dumb. And Necron, when I keep saying this, I don't mean you, dude. I don't think of you as old, okay?
I'll just give you a hard time.
All right.
I'm the oldest
Bayless,
one here.
Dumb old white, and I grew up with a bunch of them, and I hated them all my life because they're so stuck in their ways, and they won't just fucking. Hey, I'm telling you, as a young person, you're doing it wrong in our eyes now, and they're like, don't care, gonna keep doing it. It's like, all right, well, you're gonna keep looking like a fucking asshole then, just so you know. And a lot of times they'll just keep doing what they do. So Skip Bayless is going to keep tweeting, right? But that's what he meant by that, was just that it's irrelevant now. How could they postpone it? Like, how could you say you're going to postpone it when it's week 17? And then that was his immediate thought. Like, he blurted out his immediate first thought. And what if I tweeted out, oh man, I guess I can't do the watch along now, which seems so irrelevant now. You'd be like, yo, what the fuck, Austin? How are you even thinking about that? That was my first thought. I'll be real with you guys. That was my first thought. That was Skip's first thought. But he followed it up with, it's all so irrelevant now. But yeah, he should have never tweeted like I did. just shut the fuck up, because that's the moment. It's such a monumental, unprecedented moment in our modern NFL age of health and science and taking care of the players. This is something that you can't prevent. It just fucking happened. And it's just a freak accident. So yeah, he should have never tweeted it. So I do, let me say though, I do understand though why people got mad at it when they initially read it. As someone who doesn't read Skip Bayless tweets and immediately get fired up, I didn't immediately get offended when I saw that. I just thought, oh, he's a fucking idiot. And then I was like, oh wait, he said it's irrelevant now. Oh, I see what happened here. Like, people read the first part of this tweet, got mad, and then didn't finish the rest of it. Like a lot of times though, that's when there's knee-jerk reactions to every single thing in this world. And people were upset about Damar Hamlin. They didn't know where to take that energy. They saw a tweet that seemed offensive online and seemed insensitive about the situation online. And so they attacked the fuck out of it and labeled Skip Bayless everything they could just because of that knee-jerk reaction they had. Now, I'm not saying that don't get offended, right? You're entitled to your opinions, but maybe read the entire tweet and try to understand it better before you go at Skip Bayless for something so dumb. He has so many other takes that you can kill Skip Bayless for, rather than this thing that you misunderstood at the beginning, that a lot of people misunderstood, and I was speaking to them directly. Again though, if you got mad at Skip Bayless, you're missing the fucking point too. Like, you should have just done what I did. Oh, that was fucking stupid. And then keep your feelings to yourself, because your feelings about Skip Bayless's tweet don't fucking matter. What matters is the health of Damar Hamlin. And that's what I'm trying to get at. When people go and they're so reactory about everything, they have to fucking tweet, they have to send out something, and they can't just shut the fuck up and realize the monument or the moment and what the situation is that we're dealing with. And if you want to tweet something, just say, hey, praying for Damar, and be positive about it. Don't be on Twitter bitching at this time. So that's what I wanted to say about the tweet. Now I want to hear your guys' initial reactions and how you feel now about me saying that. But Sky wants to go last, so let's go.
Hey, I'll fuck around and go now because
Nah, that's cool. I'll go.
Yeah, let me
Yeah, I'll go. So so my initial reaction was I heard about it the same way that I heard about the impact. It was the clip was sent to me, and the same person that sent me Skip Bayless's comments, right? Mm-hmm. Now to illustrate who this person is a young Latina, right? So you were talking about like an old white dude, blah blah blah. So just to give a perspective on like the way people think culturally, etc. It's funny. I read it the same way a lot of people did. And I read the entire tweet, because I don't do that thing where people read part of it and then they keep going.
Right.
I read the entire thing and I was still like, why is he even saying anything? This is stupid, right?
That's what I thought, yeah.
She read it and was like, well, she said, oh, the way I took it was she the same way you did, which is that sounds a little stupid, giving us NFL info, but also he's saying, wow, because of this tragic moment, it all seems irrelevant. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So she gave me another perspective. So it's interesting how like a lot of communication is just perspective, which is why body language plays a key. But in social media, we don't have that. We don't have the luxury of seeing people's body language and nuances.
Exactly.
That being said, I do agree with you that people should have kept a lot of their thoughts to themselves. But he has a large platform, so it's par for the course. Also, Skip Bayless has a reputation for being an idiot, which is something that you also pointed out. Not necessarily being an idiot, generally speaking, just colloquially, right? Like, he can say dumb things, right? Skip Bayless is a freaking smart guy, but he says a lot of takes that are, lately at least, a lot of takes that are just like, bro, relax. You could have illustrated that a lot more eloquently, or at least more clever, to where like even when we disagree, we can go, that damn Skip. At least he's entertaining, right?
Yep.
Last thing I'll say about it is, okay, like, you know, my platform, especially compared to y'all's platform, hella small. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know, a speck of dust among the
I don't
geekdom,
know
right?
about that,
Yeah,
dude.
so
Your
maybe in
Twitter's
YouTube,
huge.
but your Twitter is fucking massive, bro.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, what I'm what I'm trying to say is this, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Even with that, right? In
Yeah.
my opinion, like with my relatively small platform, that's growing along with you guys, right? Shout out to Seal Nation, cool table, Mikey verse. Um, I I tend to do checks and balances for myself before I say things. One of those checks and balances, I refer to the homies. I go, I go to you know, the shadow members behind the scenes, the council. Shh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go to y'all and I go and I will just say things, right? You don't even realize I'm asking you.
That's
It'll be
fair.
like conversational, right? Like we're all at a table. I'm just like, man, I should go up and slap this motherfucker. And y'all like, oh, chill, bro, chill, relax. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it now because you know they told me to chill. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'll say
Word.
something to you guys, you know, talking to the council, and I get counseling.
That's
And then,
fair.
so that's
Damn.
one check. Another check is for myself and my own common sense and my own knowledge and my own experience. And I just go, that's just stupid. Why don't I say that? Why do I have to say anything about this? And if I do, I have to make sure I convey it in a way that people will understand exactly where I'm coming from because this situation is sensitive. You know what I mean? So I just think Skip Bayless is large. That's my point. If my little platform does all these checks and balances, Skip, sir, I'm gonna need you to do
Right.
better with your
Right.
very large, very illustrious historical platform. Because Skip Bayless is history. You know what I'm saying? That dude has been around for a hot minute. So anyway, those are my thoughts, man.
Well, with you just saying that though, it made me think, as old as he is and as much like fame as he is, as much as he pisses everybody off, I wouldn't be surprised if he only had his wife to talk to. And at this point, she doesn't give a fuck. So she's probably like, go ahead, have fun,
She's
say
probably
whatever
out
you
of
want.
that
You
shit.
know what I'm
Yeah, she's
saying?
like,
Right.
you make your bed,
And
you
she
lie in
is
it
a
type of
lovely lady. I'm
situation.
not no disrespect towards her whatsoever or anything that they have going on at all. Just saying, like she's probably if she's anything like my girl don't give a fuck. And I've only been with her for 3 years, so like I can only imagine what his wife goes through listening to Skip rant all goddamn day about sports. So yeah, with you saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have people to talk to, but if he does, if you're in Skip's inner circle, yo, check that man because he needs it. Um, and the cool table is test as Leon's test audience. We're part of it. We're part of it for sure. His wife and Lil Wayne, right?
Oh,
Facts.
wait, that's
Oh
right.
wow. Right, right.
Rel coming up with the facts. With the facts.
That's funny.
So
Undisputed.
Leon, thank you for that taken. Uh, I do really appreciate you telling us about other people that brought it up to you and how that made you feel too. We like those in-depth descriptions because yeah, it takes perspective, man. It's all about like how you feeling at the time when you see it. And Necron, I know when you saw it, you were like, "Yo, what the fuck, man?" So tell me
Well,
about that, and tell me how you feel now about the Skip Bayless tweet.
all right. Well, I used to love Skip Bayless, dude. Why wouldn't I? He likes my teams. I know everybody's gonna hate me, but he loves the Cowboys and he loves the Spurs. So I was always like, yeah, Skip Bayless, you know. But then I've just
And
been noticed,
Jordan,
yeah, and Jordan, the GOAT, and
amen.
we're not gonna have that
See,
conversation tonight.
Skywalker.
He's gonna kill us. So but lately I've been noticing things, and the last one that really got on my nerves was how he blew up on Shannon over that whole, we're not gonna have this conversation either but Brady. And I thought Skip was just pretty fucking disrespectful to Shannon, regardless of the facts and this and that. That's his buddy.
Yeah,
And
right.
and he was talking like shit to him on air, dude. I was like, what the fuck, dude? You couldn't fucking wait till you guys were done with the show to,
Have that
the-
little tiff.
yeah, you don't got to show all the audience that. And I know, it's good for ratings, but it's not good for them.
It's not good for the work
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, and I thought Shannon was, handle it like a pro.
Yeah,
As best he could.
Yeah.
Because I know he probably wanted to reach over and fucking knock Skip off his fucking high horse, Like, what motherfucker?
Right.
Anyway,
Boom.
yeah, what's skins, And so
I'm so glad my mic was just muted because it made me not say what the fuck I was about to say. Oh my god! But good point though for Negron.
Yeah.
So when Leon posted that, and I didn't know it till I saw when Leon retweeted it, and I was like, no one wants to hear what the fuck Skip has to say right now, Even if it was a good point, I think he's kind of left the bad taste in people's mouth at this moment. So, and I know, like, I'm reading the chat, and there are obviously a lot of people who hate Skip. They just want to use this as a reason to dunk on him too, and that's going to happen too. Whatever, that's what goes with the territory. So, what made me kind of seal the deal for me was the way, Shannon didn't show up to work the next day.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And if you caught the beginning of the show today, Shannon addressed not showing up to work. He brought up that tweet and asked Skip to take it down, and Skip interrupted him like he's always been doing lately. And Shannon fucking finally had enough and said, fuck this. You always interrupt me. This is start the show. I didn't care. And Skip was like, no, Shannon. And he's like, nah, fuck you.
Can I say one?
He didn't say fuck you, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Can I say one thing about the interruption thing? And because when you said it, you made me think of something real quick. The reason that Shannon keeps getting interrupted, in my opinion, is that Shannon allows it. Even his response to Skip interrupting him was very I don't even want to say professional. It was obviously, a hint of professionalism, but it was just very he treated him with kid gloves, as they used to say, the old saying, right? I would have went in on him professionally.
Yeah.
To let him know on the air, stop fucking interrupting me. Without cussing, obviously. But I would have said it incredibly professional in a way that he would feel like I was choking him. And I think that's what's missing. There's no teeth. There's no bite.
Yeah.
With what Shannon says. It's very meek and meager. And Shannon is probably, twice that man's size. He could destroy Skip. Yeah, exactly. He'd lay his hand on his chest and do the whole bang thing. But go ahead. You can talk. My fault.
No
I interrupted you.
But Shannon has to play by different rules than Skip Bayless. So if Shannon acts like that, Shannon could be destroying his career.
Damn. See, I ain't want to go there, but
yeah, that is deep.
Right? I mean,
damn, Necron. Hey, that might be. Hey,
Necron's better than the business.
Necron said it. And I appreciate you for saying that.
I appreciate him for saying it because I was about to say that shit.
Yeah,
I feel you. Yeah,
I learned some things backstage with the cool table that I never even thought about in my life. So yeah, and then probably
that's what's up.
If he has the fucking douche, if he did that, well, that's it. There goes my career in this fucking field.
And that's why he kind of was like, you know what? Fuck that. You're not gonna give me today, Skip. You're not gonna give me today.
If Shannon move his hand too fast, bro, Skip gonna shit himself, bro. Real talk. If he just bro, it's like, yo, come on, man. Could you imagine Shannon actually gesturing like he was gonna get up out of his seat?
Or if he just got up,
right?
No,
just like a gesturing. What you say? Like, bro, come on, man. Like, come on, man. That old dude.
Yeah, I think Skip needs to retire because what bro just reminded me of, and I'll let you go real quick. After I finish this, Sky, Skip kills me when he starts breathing and exhaling loud when Shannon talks. Like, people think that's funny, but to me, he's acting so fucking childish as like an 80-year-old man.
He's having a slight.
It's also a power dynamic as well.
That's true, but yeah, that is true. To me, though, it feels like he's regressing, like in maturity wise, and that's because of like natural causes when you get older. Like, man's got to retire, dude. Man's got to retire. He's got like dementia at this point. And he's
He
becoming
ain't
a
got
he's
dementia.
becoming
He's a little
a
smart
kid
ass,
again,
man.
dude. I saw this shit, bro. But I saw it with my own grandfather. But you regress mentally when you get to a certain age, and I feel like
true,
that's
but
what
I
we're.
don't see that in Skip yet. Maybe
That's
I
what.
see him being an ass.
Well, because the first thing that's affected is your personality, and that's what I'm seeing is his personality change as he's getting older. But
Hey, man, I made my point. I think
yeah,
it's time for a Skywalker to
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead,
jump
Sky.
in, and he's ready.
Okay, I have a unique perspective, right? I have been a LeBron James fan for quite some time. So
Shit.
I have a unique perspective on Skip Bayless. I have been watching Skip Bayless since he has been on Cold Pizza back at ESPN.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't used to like Brady, by the way. He used to hate Brady.
I saw the whole First Take shit.
No, I seen
I
Chip
saw this whole
change colors a lot of times, and it's like,
man, look,
what?
I know the chat not gonna like this, you know what I'm saying? But when I first saw the tweet and even kind of reflecting on it, I'm 50-50. You know what I'm saying, right? now, on one hand, right, I can say, hey, Skip is just a misunderstood soul, right? Who just happened to try to get a tweet out there to where he was trying to, really tell the people his feelings, right? And everybody else just read it wrong, right? But I don't live in that world, you know what I'm saying? I live in what I like to call that Skip Bayless does this same shit where he likes to ride that line. You know what I'm saying? And I think that his behavior lately and the ramping up of this childlike behavior and these little tactics that he's been using have been the culmination of something that I believe has been blossoming before our very eyes, right? When Skip Bayless was on First Take, right? Yes, Skip Bayless made that show entertaining, right, to a certain degree, but I only watched when it was him and Stephen A. Smith, right? When Stephen A. Smith was on that show, it made for a objectively better product. They were great together, right? Now, when Skip first went over to Fox, right, and Stephen A. was doing his thing over at First Take still, they ended up finding Max Kellerman, had that going for a while. That was a pretty cool pairing too, but it wasn't as good as a pairing as what Skip was able to bring because he went and found Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is like, he is like, he's damn near like I feel like, he's like me too. Like this dude is like, he's big, he's like funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? He's knowledgeable, articulate. He's like a cool dude. Mm-hmm. And he makes that damn show funny.
Yep.
He makes that show entertaining. All right. Now, if you watch what has happened these past few years, Shannon Sharp, his star has been rising tremendously. Right? They both have a podcast. Shannon started his first, right? And then Skip started his afterwards. Shannon Sharp's podcast is doing way better than Skip's podcast.
I just watched his the other night with Coach Prime. It was fucking great.
Right?
His setup looks way better too. It looks like an actual TV show.
It's Club
The
Shay
vibe
Shay.
is, bruh. The vibe is better, bruh. The vibe is better, bro. He's getting better guests. The conversations are better. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because he can do, he can do that.
Yeah.
Because people gonna pull up to come talk to him. Everybody not gonna go talk to Skip Bayless.
No.
Right? Now, I believe that the higher that Shannon Sharp's star gets, the more uncomfortable it's made Skip Bayless feel. And I feel like now he is in this space where he's trying to do things to try to, get eyes on him. Because look, if he just tweeted out like a regular fucking heartfelt message, we wouldn't be talking about him. Wouldn't everybody have tuned in to Undisputed that next day? Right? Waiting to see what he was going to say. Right? And I believe Shannon left his ass high and dry to fucking defend himself because of the way that Skip has been acting.
Yeah.
Right? And then you look, Shannon comes on the show.
That show was
today.
terrible, by the way, too. That ship had Skip carried by himself.
Oh, I bet it was.
I would usually watch it every morning, and it was hard to watch. World difference without Shannon.
Yeah, his personality is not fit for solo acts. He's meant to react to people who have a bigger personalities and better personalities than him. You know what I mean? And that's what Sky is saying. And you pointed out that's a great point, man. I've never really hated Skip, but I've never really liked him either. When he's talking,
I understand.
It's just like, okay, bro. He sounds like a kid to me nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand Skip is an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? And like all that heavy breathing and shit, he ain't doing that because he's senile. He doing that because he don't have a fucking response.
He's getting mad.
Right.
He's been getting cooked, bro.
Even when he's right, he gets cooked. That's the interesting part. That's what made me tune out of the whole show. I'm like, you actually have a point. And then Shannon will kill him. And I'm like, Shannon just knows how to deliver it better. And then Skip will start going into his old bag of tricks, the same old lines that he's been saying for like the past 50 freaking years.
Right? I mean, I've never seen anything quite like it. Like, bro, you never see anything quite like anything, my nigga. Like, you just always say you've never seen anything quite like this. Like, how many times are you gonna fucking say that, bro? Bro, every week you've seen something you've never quite seen before. Bro, that's crazy. Multiple times, right?
Still got
and
me
so all I'm saying is that dude, like, nah, I think that this was a play. I think that this was like Salt Bay at the World Cup, bro.
He says,
you know what I'm saying? He's sitting there trying to be in all the pictures, right? He sees Shannon with Coach Prime and shit.
Ooh, that's
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They're homies.
Right after this, bruh, like, yo, Club Shay Shay and that Skip Bayless, whatever that shit's called. I don't even know the name of that shit.
Yeah, me either.
Right?
Me either.
That's what I'm saying. And so, dude, no. But it's gonna come back to him, yo, because sooner or later, Shannon gonna leave that goddamn show.
I think
Real
so,
talk,
bro. Hey, real talk. Like, even before the recent disrespect, I literally I'm like, why is this show still on? Like, I promise you. And it's not even like I hate it. I'm just like, I don't understand it. I'm like, Shannon, same thing you're saying. I'm like, Shannon's dope on his own. Why does he just do his own thing? And then I'm looking at Skip and I'm like, bro, you're out of gas, bro. You're kind of done. Bro. And every time I see a clip, I get bored. It could be a clip that's 5 minutes and I just can't watch it because I'm just like, you know what I mean?
Dude,
yeah, bro.
Look, you guys can sit here and try to like act like this shit's not true. This dude made a career off of hating on fucking LeBron James, bro. Like,
bro,
he made,
and I'm not even a fan, and I'll agree with that.
An entire living, bro.
Listen,
an entire following.
I'll agree with that.
An entire career, bro.
Scott,
nah, bro.
I'm gonna say this to back you up.
Yeah.
What he did with this.
I was just saying he started his hatred, and I'll say this firsthand because I know firsthand he started his hatred and his career of hatred with Tom Brady. I know he sings his praises now, but at the very beginning of his career, when he was on Cold Pizza, when he was on First and 10, before it was First Takes, that fucking show, he talked so much shit about Tom Brady because he's a backup quarterback. I don't care if he's won this Super Bowl.
The same thing he's trying to say about Shannon, he used to do, huh?
Exactly.
That's wild, bro. This dude, yo.
He flipped.
That's wild.
Now he's Tom Brady's biggest supporter. So now when I support Tom Brady, the person who knows that Skip Bayless didn't support Tom Brady's entire career get called Austin Bayless. That's when I'm like, no, I ain't fucking Austin Bayless just because I support Tom Brady. And I sound like I have the same talking points that he does just because, for once he made a good debate or a good point about something and it just so happens to match up with mine. But that's what I understand where you're coming from, though. Yeah, he makes a living hating on certain star athletes.
Bruh, he made a fucking career, bro. He ran the LeBron hate train to stardom, bro.
I'm gonna say this to back you up on that, right? And you know I'm not a LeBron fan like that. I respect his career, and he's one of the biggest. He's one of the all-time greats. You cannot argue that. LeBron, whether people think he's the actual GOAT or not, is kind of irrelevant. He is arguably, he's in the argument. You know what I mean? So with that being said, whenever he's talking bad about LeBron, I should be like, yeah. But I'm like, bro, you ain't really making a point. There's several points that could be made.
More like a hater.
And there's points that can actually be made, right? I'm the type of person, I love watching analytical things. When I watch something about sports and you're analyzing it, I need to be edified. I need to walk away from it having talking points, right? Educated, bro. Like, teach me something. When I'm listening to fucking Austin, I feel more educated than these freaking people that are getting paid millions. And that's not even a slight against you, right? Because, people could take that like, oh,
no, dude, I literally Austin, just tip my cap to you. Appreciate you.
But so I'm like, what you trying to say about Austin? No, what I'm saying is Austin, like, real talk, Austin's got the analytical, like when you're discussing football, is very, very analytical, all these little details, right? And these other guys, and you do, you give your biased opinion, not unbiased, you give your biased opinion as well. And your biased opinion is actually entertaining, right? These dudes, when they give their biases, they give no analysis. I get no education. I get nothing. And I'm not asking you to like walk me through sports, but what I'm saying is illustrate your points about, let's say, LeBron in a way that is like, whether I agree or disagree, man, I feel like I've learned something along with the entertainment. I get none of that from this guy. It's like what Scott was saying. What did you say? You said that line that cracked me up. What'd you say? You said
to go back in the video, check the VOD.
He was like, he said, I see something. That's a line he always says, bro. Oh, that's why it was so funny. I've never seen this before, right? That's what it was.
Oh, right? Yeah, this motherfucker say, I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, it's like, no.
That shit happens every fucking week, bro. Multiple times. I never seen anything quite like it. It's like, bro, what are you fucking talking about, dude?
It's the same lines we've been hearing for years, and that's why I can't watch that.
I did say that like 5 times today. That's right.
When I knew that this motherfucker was all-time cap, bro. LeBron came back from 3-1 for the first time ever in fucking NBA history, and literally led the series. The series, bro, not the team. He led the series in every single major statistical category: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. It was the first time that shit had ever happened. And this motherfucker came out talking shit. Like, bro, come on, man, bro.
And I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's one of the moments that made me stop messing with that dude's channel. I was like, yo. I said, hold on, bro. I don't like LeBron, bro, but we got to give this man his flowers. Right. My God, what he's doing right now is very amazing. and you're gonna sit
That
here.
was
How can you find something to complain about? That's
Oh, he
insane.
does. He finds something
Bruh,
just like
I was like, what are we
LeBron's on a
watching?
tear right now. He's on a tear at 30 fucking 8. He's at 38 years old and he's on a tear. And Skip's like, well, he is on a tear and he's the best driver in the league, but that 3-point shot is like, third worst in the league.
nah,
And
man.
here's the thing,
No,
man.
the
There are
Frozen
things
one
that you
became the Frozen one in 2011.
right. That same
Don't you
line.
remember
So
in 2011 the
Mhm.
Chosen
and
one
it's like
became like, bro?
it's like we're not even having a GOAT conversation. We're just talking about his longevity right now and how he looks right now, and he's doing great at his age. Everybody, no, let's talk about the GOAT. Let's talk about Jordan. What nigga? Ain't nobody talking about Jordan. Jordan's at the crib with cigars, hanging out.
Right.
Why are we talking about
Bro,
Jordan?
Jordan
that
selling shoes.
2016
That's what
shit,
he's
Jordan
worried
don't
about.
care. Like,
that
bruh.
2016 shit. I remember my pops, who was always a diehard Jordan fan, like fucking for show. Even my pops was like, "Yo, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen on a basketball court."
Bro, it was amazing.
Crazy.
Like I've never seen anything like that.
It was
Like
amazing.
literally,
Oh,
and
bro.
he hardly ever say that shit.
No one, if you were alive and watched football at that time, no one will ever forget fucking Andre Iguodala being fucking slap
Basketball.
backboard block, dude. Like
Bro.
just seeing the flash,
Bro.
the blur of like dark blue just fucking go down the court. And
Bro,
what
they
the
scored
fuck
I'm
is
not
that?
a LeBron fan at
Bro, they
all,
scored
and
no
I literally
points, bro.
fell off the couch when that happened. I
This
said,
shit was-
"Yo,
Yeah.
this man came out
I
of
remember
nowhere, bro."
smacking people next to me. I was like,
I was like, "All right."
what the fuck was that?
I said, y'all gotta hang this conversation up, talking about this man's skills and questioning him and everything. I was like, y'all gotta stop that, man.
Man
We
went
could talk
back to
about that GOAT
Cleveland
shit
and
later,
said, I'm
but
gonna fucking win you a championship.
bro,
Yeah,
that joke
bro.
was crazy.
But look, yeah, that's my point though, man. This has been par for the course for this dude
Yeah.
to like take these moments and to try to insert himself by saying something that can be taken a little, it's like,
Yeah.
did he really mean it that way? Right? And then
So he's
somebody
mastered the
mentioned
art of
this
manipulation, then.
fact. Skip Bayless. Look, you can't get to that level doing what he does without being a master at fucking manipulation, yo. Can't be.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I mean, this dude's literally made millions upon millions of dollars, bro. Playing
Saying
a
the same
character for how long? Since 2002.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And so, look, like 20 years, bro. Live TV, sports stuff, multiple times per week. Just the same shit. And it's like, at this point, yeah, man, I hope Shannon ends up leaving that show, yo. I do.
Me too.
Because I think this Skip Bayless shit needs to come to an end, yo. I've been and this is not even just coming from like the LeBron fan in me. This is me just having a genuine observation of how he's been acting. That shit that he said about Shannon being jealous of Tom Brady was like so crazy because as a former football player, right? Literally, whenever I see Shannon talk about most football players, he's just talking about football. He's just talking about what he sees. Right.
He
Now,
doesn't strike me as being envious about any of it.
No,
Dude.
he's just being matter of fact.
Not very emotional either. Like he's not going like he's not being a stan about it the way Skip talks about most sports.
Yeah.
It's like somebody who has knowledge, but he talks about it from an emotional stan perspective.
Because he's a fan.
Yeah. Right. Bro,
Right.
like, dude, when Brady was playing earlier at certain spots this year, right? Now, we can talk about before, you know what I'm saying, and how things were looking, but there were stretches where he didn't look good, yo. He wasn't looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's fine when we're gonna say, okay, he's the GOAT and he's never out of a football game and all that stuff and all these things that we say and know because they're true. But when we want to say, hey, like he's not looking good and he was playing trash and he was yelling at a whole bunch of people, which also is another reason why players might want, like, does it ever occur to some people that a lot of players might want Shannon to say these things that he's saying because they see Tom Brady get away with shit that they wouldn't be able to get away with? And so Shannon has that kind of pressure too. Like there's no way that these players that are playing currently and former players are not always in this dude's ear about what the hell really be going on. And these players got way more information than you and I and all these outsiders have as well, right? So they know way more shit. And it's like, yo, if we're going to be able to have these kind of conversations, you have to allow people the freedom to speak freely without you attacking them personally, which is exactly what this dude did. You're fucking trying to call him jealous because Brady's still playing. It's like, dude, was Shannon fucking jealous of Peyton Manning when he called fucking Peyton Manning playing trash? Peyton Manning won that last Super Bowl playing trash, yo. He was old.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I'm not gonna sit through any more Tom Brady slander, but I understand where you're coming from.
No,
but let's not compare Tom Brady to Peyton Manning.
No.
Where you're coming from.
I'm not saying that it was that bad, but look, man, like Father Time, bruh, it's not even a thing where Brady will never be able to have moments where he looks fantastic or he can pull off a game-winning drive. That's obviously not true. But for him to play at a high level, sustained throughout an entire season, I think those days are gone.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but we're not having that debate right now.
No. But I'm saying that this played into because I brought it up because this was part of that Skip shit, right? Where he tried to attack that man personally for his opinion. Yeah. And he called him jealous when that had nothing to do with why Shannon was saying those things that he was saying.
Right. In other words, guys is trying to say that Shannon has a more analytical take on Brady, whether we agree with his take or not. He's not coming from an emotional Brady sucks all the time attitude. Whereas Skip does that with LeBron.
Got offended at that comment, at the sense that he's making so much sense that Skip got mad and he didn't have a retort at that moment. So what do you do when you start to act childish again? You throw an emotional shot at you because I don't have anything to say anymore. So fuck you, basically. This is the best I got. And that's right. That's why I believe
and Skip, Skip is always emotional. That's kind of my point, is like, no matter what, like Shannon could be saying something good or bad, right or wrong, but it's gonna be very much less emotional than what Skip does, like when he analyzes LeBron, right? Like when Skip talks about LeBron, for example, he does
pure emotion.
It's pure the same. Like he puts his hand in the same bag, pulls out the same bag of tricks, the same, stupid catchphrases, right? Whereas like Shannon Sharp, when he's discussing Brady, we're not gonna hear like the same 15 catchphrases, and he's not gonna be like, well, Skip, Brady kind of sucks, because at the end of the day, no, it's not gonna be that. Shannon's going to give his take, and it's going to be with some football analytics, and it's going to be with some, personality. So there's no breadcrumbs pointing to jealousy. I think that's what Sky is trying to say. Like that, like no matter what you think about Brady, there's no breadcrumbs to like say, oh, he should be jealous. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Hold on, and let me clarify one point too, because I think I know where the point got kind of like lost at. Right? Was that When I was saying about players kind of reaching out to him to have him kind to speak on certain stuff, I didn't even just mean in that Brady context, right? I mean, period.
Mhm.
I think that's why he didn't do that fucking show the next day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? They're probably like, hey, bro, like, ain't no fucking way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, no way. Right? Because we got to see what he gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you even look, Shannon was just trying to make his opening statements. He didn't even ask Skip to take the tweet down. He was just trying to make his little opening monologue, and he just said it like, well, hopefully Skip will take the tweet down,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then and
He didn't have
he
to
was
say
going to try
shit.
to keep.
Yeah.
He was going to try to keep going with his opening statement, and he couldn't even get it out.
I'm not taking it down. It was like, all right, dude, shut the fuck up. No one cares right now, Skip. Like I know exactly what you mean. That's why Shannon got so mad. He's like, you know what? Let's just fucking do it. And then I saw a comment, and that comment I just made reminded me of it. If Skip was gonna leave, he should have left after Skip didn't apologize after the first segment. Yes, here's the thing.
You mean Shannon? If Shannon was gonna leave?
Yeah.
If Shannon was gonna leave, yeah. Contracts, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that simple.
Yeah, you can't just leave because your host
Yeah.
said something you don't like, and that's
Right.
that's just something that you have to deal with on a show that you're facing each other, every fucking day. And this is the reality that I think Shannon didn't realize, is that he's talking to a senior citizen at this point who is in the early stages of dementia. You have your cognitive brain functions and your chemical imbalances to the frontal lobe of your brain. So your behavior is what's affected first. You may still look like you're functioning and you're operating clear as day and you're making decisions with your own wherewithal, but your behavior is regressing and your maturity is regressing to back to your childlike state from where you are at an adult. You go from adult to adolescence to child, and I think he's on his way back down to adolescence when it comes to his personality at this point in time. That's what I'm seeing as someone who grew up with was lucky enough to grow up with grandparents and watch them grow old and watch them change and become different people the older that they got. And you wonder the whole time, like, that's a tragedy I deal with. I'm seeing that, and I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm literally seeing that, as he's so fucking old, dude. He shouldn't still be on TV.
How old is he?
He's like
I don't even
80
know.
something, dude. He's 80 something. He watched
I'll check
basketball
right
when it
now.
was
Yeah,
black
how
and
old
white.
is this guy?
He watched it when they were playing in peach buckets, dude. Like, he is so fucking old. That's
And I know exactly what you're saying because I saw that happen with my dad.
exactly.
No,
The personality
bro.
changes.
No, bro.
I'm not
He's
saying
71,
I know.
bro.
I'm agreeing with
Still,
Austin on the sense.
still.
I'm not saying Skip senile.
that's when it starts,
But
bro. It takes many
it starts
years.
with the personality when you start getting
And you don't notice it until they're
the
80,
dementia.
but it takes
Well,
10 years to get there, and this is when it starts.
I think
You can
You
Skip
start
is more
having no
so.
real when people say no fucks given. When you get the real dementia, you really get the no fucks. No.
and that's
what I
why
was
you
gonna
have
say.
to treat it now. And this is the first signs that
Like
you see
crazy.
that it happened to one of my grandparents, and you don't realize what's going on until it's too late and you can't help them at all. But if you notice these signs now, you can start to give them medication to try and help their life and help them
But I want to know how old
continue
Skip
to
is.
be healthy, because they can say shit that they don't really mean, like this, and ruin relationships just because they're having chemical imbalances in the brain that they're not aware of.
Well, here's the thing. This is what I'll say to that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. There, you have a point about old age, etc. Right? I just don't think it applies necessarily to Skip Bayless completely. I mean, they could possibly be there, obviously, but I think this is just who he's been. I mean, if we've been following Skip Bayless since his, inception into entertainment sports analysis,
Yeah,
this man's been senile. He's been suffering from dementia his whole life. Then, because he's always had takes
I think it's just
that were
way more
hyper
childish.
He is
emotional.
kind of a shock jock sportscaster.
Exactly. And so right, and to add to your point, both you and Austin, I think the old age is making him. I don't know about dementia, but I think the old age is taking the handcuffs off of, like, holding himself back. I think it's like he's like, man, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm 70 years old, bitch. I'm just saying what I say.
That's
You
what
know
I
what I
get
mean?
fired. I get fired. I mean, shit.
that's
I
what it starts, man.
look.
I'm
I
telling
feel
you.
it. I feel it. I
I don't know
would
that has to
rather
be
just
dementia
say,
though. I just think it's like he's
yeah.
probably
I
like,
was
I'm
about to
old,
say,
and
I
why
would
should I have to
rather.
care? You know what I mean?
I would rather say that he just don't give a fuck no more because I mean, but when how is this any different from what this dude's been doing, man?
I think it's just way more childish now than it has been in the past. And before he would just say things that shock value and not be
Bruh,
so
he used to
immature.
be
You think
huffing and
so?
puffing with Stephen A. Smith, bro.
Yeah, I was about
I
to say
guess I
he
just
seems a
don't
little
remember that.
slower. Yeah, he seems a little
It's just
slower now.
I can definitely see it as far as what I've experienced myself. And I just wanted to say we got this whole I hope you got your feelings out on Skip Sky because I this wasn't really part of it's supposed to be a huge part of the show. I just want to talk about how he should have never tweeted and how it was misunderstood initially, and that's why the whole backlash started. But yeah, he laid in his own grave. I'm not saying
And he's 71.
yeah, I'm not he's 71. So yeah, that's when it starts little by little and you start to notice the signs, man. I'm telling you, but I'm not saying that excuses any of his actions at all. I'm just saying that he's old as fuck and he should be off TV at this point. Go retire, let Shannon have his own show, let Shannon bring in different players every week, every month and debate with them. Or maybe you have a football guy to debate football. Maybe you have a basketball
Just
guy
turn
to
it into
debate
Club Shay
basketball.
Shay on TV, huh?
Exactly.
I think that would be
Do
dope.
that. And you can rotating people. You know, you don't have to have the same
Yeah.
fucking guy over across from you.
That way I can start watching again because I promise you, bro, I can't watch it. I can't.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
cannot.
No. But anyways, I did want
I
to keep
torture
this.
myself every morning and put it
I
on.
like. I just like to hear. I like to hear Shannon's reactions at this point. Skip.
I like
He
hearing
gets
Shannon
excited. I
press
like hearing him
Skip's
get like. I
button.
like
That's
Shannon at this point. I like Shannon
Yeah.
at this point. I'm not watching it for Skip. I'm watching it to hear Shannon's react. Whenever
Mhm.
I can get to hear his voice go up to that high octave, he's like, "Wah!" He does one of those. That shit makes me laugh every fucking time. So yeah.
But also what's being missed right in the whole conversation is Shannon actually played football
exactly, and that's why
at a high level and Skip hasn't. So Skip can only go so far with
I
his
think Skip is a little jealous.
Exactly. Hall of
Exactly.
Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp.
Right.
He always makes that
To
point.
be
Hall of
exact.
Famer Shannon's two-time, Super Bowl
Right.
champion Hall of Famer says,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
bro.
he is. Put some respect on it. I mean,
That's like arguing with Mike Tyson about boxing,
right?
Seriously.
So but anyways,
Okay.
done with Skip Bayless. Next time we'll talk about him on here is when they announce his diagnosis probably. But that's
You
anyways.
stupid.
Yeah, I'm just fucking around. But and in a not so funny manner, but in the same spirit of all love and positivity, I did want to end this show in a good note and a little memory to our friend Uche, who suddenly passed. But I guess it was like probably cardiac arrest or something like that, a sudden heart attack. And thinking about his wife, thinking about his kids. His poor wife found him unresponsive on the floor before the
That's
new
horrible.
year. Yeah. And little fun fact for you, Necron. I don't know if you ever knew this, but after he was done playing for the Jaguars for 7 seasons, he started for them for 6 seasons. After that, he signed with the Cowboys, but he never played with them.
Did not know.
He was a Cowboy for a brief little stint at the end of
Brief
his
stint.
career. Yeah,
Was that
I
right
thought
before he
was
retired?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty cool. And
Yeah,
again,
but
me
he wants
being
to be a cowboy at some point.
I retired a cowboy. I wonder if he ever said that.
I
But
just try to get a job.
I didn't personally know Uche, but he definitely left a big impact on me. Just knowing that an NFL football player was somebody who was enjoyed Zack Snyder stuff like I did. It made me think like, oh man, we're not too like different. People can like sports and really love this nerd shit at the same time and love an artist. So and I think that's why someone like me enjoys Zack Snyder so much. Someone who I love sports. I love athletes. They inspire me because of all the hard work that they do every day. They have to show up early in the morning. They have to work out. They have to keep track of their bodies. They have to take care of everything that goes in their bodies. They have to remember a shit ton of plays,
Dedication.
calls, everything. They're meeting new people every day. Oh, I got a new teammate. Oh, fuck. Now I got to learn this guy's name. Now I got to see what he's all about. We got to introduce him into the locker room. Now we're going against a new team this week. Now I got a whole different defensive thing to learn. They have so much to do all the time. Athletes really do a lot. And in that regard, I see Zack Snyder do a lot for his movies. The length of detail, the amount of work that he puts into his work in general, really showed through. So I feel like that's part of the reason why me and Uche really gravitated towards Zack Snyder. And then, when he's not working on his craft, the dude's weightlifting just like athletes do. And he's fucking jacked just like athletes are. So I think we kind of found inspiration in the same thing. Like, yo, even after, and I think Uche kind of was finding that where he saw, I don't need football. I could still work out and hone in at a craft and take my football work mentality and put it into something else and go be great at it. Because look at this other guy who never played football, but he's got that football work ethic and he's great at it. And oh my God, it's beautiful. And I want to get to know this guy and I want to get to talk to him. And he did. And he fucking did it. And he talked to Zack Snyder and he got to know him closely. And they would talk on the phone and text. We heard about that. And then even with all that like notoriety, right? For some people, if they had their head up their ass, they talk to Zack Snyder and they say, fuck everybody else. I talk to Zack Snyder. I'm big shit now. Uche, someone who actually did shit before he talked to Zack Snyder, right? In the most prolific league, at least if not the world, in our country, he still came down, so to speak, and talked to all of us in the geek fandom and was a part of Still Nation. And he could have said, fuck all of us. They're puny little peons. Why would I go talk to them? I should just go look for the channel with the biggest viewing and the biggest following and talk to them because that's more my crowd. Nah, he found Still Nation. And I know that Still had him on before on his stream. Because he knew that he was a Snyder guy and that he played for the Jaguars, and still is a Colts fan as well. So I think that's why he left an impact on me while he was here because I thought that was cool. I was like, man, a football player could like this, and he hasn't stopped working. He's still doing just as much, and given everything that he possibly can to he put his heart into what he wanted to, and he was unapologetic about it. And at any point in time, you could look at Uche and be like, yo, what does he think about this? And he would fucking let you know. And I really, really admired that. Unfiltered, no holds barred. He'd let you know how he was feeling. And in some fucking diabolical rant, the dude would make you laugh. And it's just like, oh, fucking Uche's got me again. Like, okay, keep going, Uche. Like, keep preaching, homie. I want to hear more. Still, tell him this, Sil. All right. And so he'll have a question. He's like, you know what? And then fucking Uche go back off again. Those are some of my favorite streams when Uche gets so passionate. And that's the ones that stuck with me. And that's the type of person that he was, not only in our fandoms, but in the locker rooms too. If you guys are on Twitter too, you saw the outpouring of love for Uche, just from Jaguars people, from the NFL people who have played with him before. I mean, just to be in the NFL for 7 seasons is amazing. To be a stalwart in the trenches and the hardest position to play in the NFL, which is a lineman, an offensive lineman at that, because you just have to fucking go backwards the whole time, and you have beasts trying to get past you. He did it for 6 years straight. His rookie season, I think he may have got hurt or he sat out, but he did it for 6 years after that. And is highly respected in Duval. He was just one of his tweets most recently all season long big homie Sil has been saying that the Jaguars, Uche's former team, is the dark horse to win that division. And I look at Uche's tweets from, I think it was December 22nd. He said, "Yo, Jaguars gonna win that division, Duval." And I was just thinking, "Yo, we gotta have Uche on once the Jaguars win this division, because no one saw that fucking coming." And I was really looking forward. I didn't want to ask a favor yet, but I was gonna ask Sil for a favor to get Uche on my channel, because being a football player.
Yeah,
So it's a
makes
damn
sense.
shame,
Yeah.
but he's on the channel now. So that's my piece about that. Here's the Uche. And Skywalker, you want to go or you want to go last?
No, it's all good. I'll go now.
All
I'm not going to force myself to go last again. But yeah, look. I first came in to encounter Uche on like a Seal stream. It was the first time that I saw him, and immediately I just kind of gravitated towards him. I was like, "Yo, man, this dude." Everything about him just screamed very genuine, right?
Always
And just like with a lot of people in our group, Seal Nation, Cool Table, Mikey Verse, and everything. If you look around, for the most part, it's a bunch of genuine people, and so that's why I think that he was such, a big fan. He'll even tell you that he was a fan of Stills, right? I mean, he's always up on Stills,
Hell
putting
yeah.
streams, and
One of
he'd
his
be in the
biggest
chat,
supporters.
right? He'd be in the chat all the time, and just by proxy, that just made him like one of us. And this dude had done so much in his life, because yes, to make it to the NFL and to play for 6 seasons and to have a career, especially as a lineman, right? It's a very like lunchbox kind of position where
Oh yeah,
you gotta be ready to work, right? And you really saw him bring that work ethic over, and he created like a whole nother thing with his YouTube channel and Lyman Life and all that stuff,
hell yeah.
With and he's gonna be missed, I didn't get a chance to really engage much with him one on one, but I definitely felt his presence, and the news of his passing really hit me.
Yeah.
And it shook me, and it just made me realize how fleeting life can be. I mean, I was literally just enjoying him on that Seal stream when it was announced that Henry Cavill was out as Superman, and he went on that rant and he was going off, and
Yeah.
I just felt it, because he was like, "Yo, like,
He's saying what we
fuck
wanted to.
this,"
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yo," he was like,
Yeah.
and then they be going off about some other stuff, and they start kind of lightening up, and he's just like, "Yo, man, fuck this, bro.
Right.
Like, no.
Yeah,
I want my fucking
he was
Henry
letting WBD have it.
Cavill." You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit was just like
You gotta be
it
cracking up.
it was so hilarious, and it was so Uche, man. So he's definitely gonna be missed. My condolences go out to him and his family, and his loved ones, everybody that knew him, and just everybody that he touched, because I know it was a lot of people, because he definitely touched me. So rest in peace, Uche.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Thanks.
that's all I got.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. I did want to say too, I'm gonna give if they want. I know for myself, I'm gonna want it. So Cool Table, let me know if you guys want it after I say this. But I'm definitely gonna put a little 77 in my logo as a little remembrance, and make an overlay for these streams that says Team 77 on it, so we can all remember for as long as you guys so choose to have it on your channels. But I definitely, so many of these things in life, they happen and then it's gone and we forget about it. But like this title says down here, we're remembering Uche. So that's how I'm gonna do it going forward. Leon, how did this make you feel, my friend? And how do you want to remember Uche?
You guys kind of hinted at it a bit while you were talking. I think, and I'm not saying this to be cliche, but it's fitting. Y'all know my little catchphrase, a new perspective on the modern day geek. He epitomized that.
Oh yeah.
He was a guy. He wasn't just some guy who was passionate about fictional things and didn't have a life. Nah, he's a dude who lived a whole full life, had a professional career in one of the most impactful sports and entertainment ever. That alone is something to admire. And then afterwards, he became ingratiated within geekdom. He definitely, to me, that is what made me gravitate towards him. Every time I see him in the chat or anytime I see him on Soul Nation, he would always show love, and he'd he'd say something to, just like our chat does whenever we hop in. Leon, awesome, Sky, nigga. He did the same thing. He'd jump in. What up, Uche? What up, Leon? Whether he even knew you or not, he'd say, what up, Leon? What up, da, 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 da. And he'd eventually be like, what up, chat? Very cool guy, very humble, very, chill, and a man of the people, he seemed like. You know what I mean? I didn't know him very well at all, but just by his actions, I could tell that he was a guy who I would not be surprised if his family, friends, and loved ones were like, oh my God, yeah, he was a man of the people. Because every time he addressed us, it was with respect and not turning his nose up. Like, I was in the NFL, or
That's
I
what
know
I
Zack
mean.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Exactly what you were saying, right?
Yeah, that's why it endeared me to him so much more because of that.
Absolutely. And I say again, like, he epitomized not just the phrase that I say, man, but what we all represent. Because that phrase is for us, Cool Table Still Nation. New Geeks is a thing that I may have started and whatever. But like, I always gravitated towards gentlemen like you guys, who have a life, have dreams, accomplishments, striving for more successes, and have each other's back, right? That's what Uche represented. He reached out to Sil, in his own personal time, and got connected with Sil. Like you were saying, Austin. He didn't have to do that. This guy has notoriety. You know what I mean? He saw the same thing we saw in Sil, which is somebody who is worth getting behind. You know what I mean? Like, that type of stuff, forever endearing, So I give my condolences to everybody who was ever affected by him, in a positive manner. You know what I mean? Like, his family, his friends, his loved ones, everybody in Still Nation and geekdom in general. I wonder, if Zack Snyder, what his thoughts are on this. I wonder about that as well for some reason. But yeah, generally, you know what I mean? But generally speaking, yeah, man, he'll be missed for sure.
Absolutely.
He'll be missed.
He left, obviously, this impact on all of us, and that's why I want to keep remembering him, because I think he taught us a lot of lessons while he was here, and we're gonna keep thinking about those as we go forward, as we grow, to remain like Uche, remain humble and keep talking to the people, because they're when you're real, people recognize that. And one of the things I did see when people were remembering him, uh, and I think it was either the Jaguars organization themselves or one of the former players, but they said uh, what they miss most is his boisterous voice in the locker room, talking about whatever topic it was at hand, and then afterwards him laughing. And I thought that was very fitting, and but what and it made me as like respect him more, because if he was like that in the locker room, but he was also like that with us, then that means that he felt comfortable enough with us to be completely himself, because that locker room is like a sanctuary. So if you can act like you are in a locker room with us at Sill Nation and the Cool Table and Sill just with Sill on a panel, I think that's really what it was. He felt comfortable, and I thought that was awesome. So I'm always gonna be remembering that now, just because, man, what a shock, but also, what a reminder to the rest of us. Take care of yourselves. Don't if you have some kind of faint pain, whatever it is. Not saying that he did, but who knows? He might have had some kind of ache, and he's like, you know what? I'm good. I'm 38 years old. Like, this should just be like a muscle ache. Like, it doesn't hurt to go get that shit checked out. Providing you have the insurance or whatever the means to do so, please do, because there's no price that you can put on you being alive.
Yeah.
um you know
Well said,
so
dude.
make sure you're taking care of yourself. And so sorry for everyone for the somber show, but I appreciate y'all being here for it, and I appreciate everyone talking. Yeah, what do you want to say, bro?
I just wanted to say my condolences
Yeah, I
to
want to keep going. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get the let Necron talk, bro. I didn't let Necron talk. Thank you for
sometimes
cutting me
don't
off.
let
Yeah,
Necron
please,
talk, and
please do,
sometimes
man.
let me talk. But yeah.
Please do. Yeah, how you
No,
remember
I ain't gonna
Uche, man?
make long, dude. Because I personally, I did not know him, but what I saw of him, I liked, and seemed like a really nice guy. And it was just cool to see someone on the NFL caliber
Yeah.
getting Zack Snyder in the fandom, and that's what I really loved about him. And he just, came on Sill's streams. It was always awesome and cool to see that interaction between him and Sill. And just on a personal level, I will miss seeing that stuff because it was fun to watch. And
Oh
my
my goodness.
condolences again to his family and friends and organization. They sound like they lost a really good guy. So
Yeah, we
that's
all
it
did,
for
man.
me.
Yeah, definitely for them. And then if anyone could, if they know, if they're watching this in the future, if there's any kind of fundraiser or anything that comes up for Uche and his family, uh, his wife and all that, definitely want to put that in our description so we can send people there. And I have definitely want to make a donation to that cause. But yeah, thank you for stopping me, and thank you for saying that. I didn't want to. My bad for skipping over. I'm just trying
No
to figure out
worries,
the
dude.
best way to close the stream, but I do want to say hope is on the horizon for all of us. We're not going to forget Uche. We're going to remember him with happiness, and we're going to keep smiling for Uche going on in the future. We're going to keep on James Gunn's head, because he was also on James Gunn's head in this DC shit. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. As long as you're healthy, you're doing well, and we can talk to you every day. That's all I ask you, Still Nation, Mikey versus Cool Table. Take care of yourselves. That's all that really matters at the end of the day, And we're not gonna go out with the outro today. We got a little membrane screen. So anything else you boys want to say? We'll go around real quick. Skywalker, you got some last comments before we head out?
Oh man, just thank you guys for pulling up to the stream. That goes for the panel and the chat. Much love and appreciation to all you guys. Just stay on the lookout. You know, we're gonna be rocking out again pretty soon. We got some stuff coming
Yeah.
for y'all.
Hell yeah. And then we had to do the stream so we could get our feelings out and we can go forward knowing that, you know, we set our piece on this, and we're not just ignoring the situation with Damar Hamlin and with Uche passing. So thank you everyone for showing up. Necron, I know you just went, but do you want to tell us you got anything coming up? You got a witching hour coming up. What we got coming up, Necron?
Okay. Well, I do want to start plugging because next Friday, if all goes as planned, we'll do a Zack Snyder 300 talk about on my channel with the cool table. Hope to see you. And we're just gonna fucking rage on fucking how awesome that fucking movie is. Just exactly. Spartans. You know, it's gonna be fucking good shit. It's gonna be fun. We'll be back to being, you know, cool table just doing our thing, you know.
Absolutely.
And I want to introduce you guys. Look, I even threw the horns automatically.
He's like,
to
you guys.
you guys to you know, my metalhead fucking crowd that comes out. And you know, I get Snyderverse. I shouldn't even say Snyderverse. Let me rephrase. I get Still Nation people in there too. But I want them fucking get introduced to you guys, you know.
Yeah.
And this part of me on my channel. More so.
Well, thank you.
Sky's been there. He's already been in the madhouse.
I've been in the chat at least,
Yeah.
but no one really talks to me. I'm like, hey guys, how we doing? Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, bye.
A bunch of cranky old metalheads. They're not gonna be all friendly.
Hey, I pulled up on the Zombie platform a few times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So y'all
also
gotta get over there.
One thing about that as well is I don't pull up unless I can speak with any sort of like intelligence. Like if I don't know what you guys are talking about, like what the fuck is what's the point of me being on there?
So
yeah, exactly. I don't know what we're talking about there. Yeah. So next Friday, not this Friday, 300 watch along stream. We're gonna watch it. Or we're just talking about
it. No, we're just gonna talk about it. The watch along will be elsewhere.
Fuck yeah. So just come and let's talk.
We're just gonna talk about
300.
how fucking awesome it is. Usually when I do that, we kind of just run the plot through as we're talking about it, but not like every little.
We get to do it like your movie reviews. Yes, like the 80s ones. I love watching those. Yeah, I love that format.
And whatever else we decide to talk about as we talk about it. You know.
All right. Dope, man. Dope. Leon, what we got coming up, player? I know we've been telling people the Cowboy Bebop streams, they be coming. Don't you all worry. But what else we got coming, Leon?
The project that I keep hinting at that the Cool Table is going to do that I'm not going to reveal yet. That's still happening because, you know, just because it happened last year doesn't mean we still can't talk about it now because that's our thing, you know.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Obviously the Cowboy Bebop thing. What else?
You're gonna be on Sill streams coming up too.
Yes, there's also Sky and I's got some stuff going on. I got to get with Necron about our thing. There's so many different things, and I feel like every stream we keep talking about it. Y'all know behind the scenes I'm rebuilding, so you know it couldn't have happened at a worse time that I've had to rebuild. However, it is motivation. So that's all I can look at it like motivation. Because it literally happened right after that interview with that started Batman Gate. I was gonna hit the ground running, and then all of a sudden it was like, nope, you know. I was like, oh, you know, but I am
life curveballs. You know?
Oh yeah, curveballs. But
bro,
I'm knocking that bitch out the park. Yeah,
it happened to me too, bro. I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, if you look at my channel, I have like my first YouTube video and my second one, and then it's a long gap before there's another video. It is what it is, but you're getting the hang of it. When you get your routine down, you'll be just like where I am. You got 2 days in between your shows, bro. So make sure you get ready. Make sure you get your prep time down. I'm so regimented now. I'm like, yo, what day is it? Is it Sunday today? Am I streaming in the day or at night tonight? I don't need to figure out what day it is. But
what's cool though about all this is that I'm learning as I go along with you guys all of the the different nuances and different details of how all this stuff works, and just becoming more ingratiated with the fandom. That's dope. And
learning how to get doxxed, right?
For real. You know, and being, you know, more and more a part of Sill Nation because, like, you know, I know we always talk about Sill for good reason. Sill's the Godfather. I don't care what anybody says.
He is.
That's the Godfather, bro.
Sill is Vito Corleone.
Absolutely. And Mikey is Mikey Jordan. Like that's the GOAT. So like watching them and then meeting you guys via them has been a pleasure. With that, 2023 obviously is coming. Awesome stuff. We know that. But also want to just say that this year, these channels, these streams that we do, these are little baptisms in my opinion. Like we're gonna be splashed, given some new life because we're leaving behind all the old trash. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the betas, the leeches, the vampires. We're leaving them all behind.
The real
You know what I'm saying?
grifters.
We're about
Yeah.
to purify over here, man.
We're
Purify.
we're each our own sons, man. We rise.
Hell
And
yeah.
everything that I just named, they hate sunlight. Leeches hate sunlight. Vampires hate sunlight. So do betas. We're gonna shine bright, burn all that shit away, bro. Because 2023 is about to be, and it's not. This isn't just new year, new me. No. 2022 was dope. Look what we did with what little we had. Look at where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where we're going. This is amazing.
2022 was just the foundation.
And it's a lot of wake up calls that have happened early in 2023.
Damn.
That's why I say this is a baptism, bro. We can't just look at these events and go, oh man, let's go about it like it's normal business. Nah, man. Life is telling us something. We got to seize that bad boy by the horns, wrestle it down, make some
Facts.
beef, and eat. Eat, gentlemen, eat.
And eat together.
2023 is ours. Let's take it. I'm out.
Let's do that 300 stream now, dude. You got me off.
Thank you for that, Leon. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you just said. So thank you for speaking that out into existence. But and that's what it is, man. We got to take this seriously, and realize what's happening when it's happening, and not just move on to the next day like nothing happened. And that's again why I had to have this stream. I had to have this talk. And I feel better now, having said all we said tonight, and done the tributes and sent our prayers towards Damar Hamlin, and we skipped the tweet. So I appreciate y'all talking about that shit with me, being real homies and coming through and having this adult conversation. I know, there's no background music on after this. We didn't have any. We still managed to have our own laughs because that's what we do. But there wasn't any roast tonight necessarily, but we took it seriously and we made it professional, and we made a great stream out of it. So I appreciate you boys coming through as always. And as always, we're going to be back again next Wednesday night, back to your regularly scheduled program. We'll talk about whatever goes on this weekend. Maybe some bigger news than the DC slate dropping, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. So we might have a lot to talk about next week. It's only the tip of the iceberg is what I'm gonna say about that as well. But thank you boys again. Next week, Freezing Cold Takes, same time Wednesday night, and we'll see everybody back here on this channel for the good countdown with the big homie Sil Abdul on Sunday for week 18. And if you can, I know Sil did a stream where he said, if you say whatever you want about Uche in the comments, if you're watching this now as we play out, and if you're rewatching it later, just give me a hashtag Team 77 for me, and put that in the comments. Show your little remembrance for the homie, and we're just gonna keep that hashtag going all 2023 till infinity. We're Team 77 to remember the big homie Uche, and that's how we're gonna end it off tonight. So again, thank you all for coming, and this last couple of minutes is in tribute to the big homie. May he rest in paradise. You know what I mean? Be easy, everybody. Have a great night and take care of yourselves. All right. We'll see you next time.
Peace.